At the moment we are not very efficient and we leave a huge ecological footprint on the world. Our scenario suggests that the world will have its collapse sort of in 50 years' time. We believe the world will come to a point where we go too far and then we will have to rebuild with this new sort of frame of mind of things.
If we looked at the population for the period of time we're talking about, 2087, there should be about 8 billion people, which means at any one time we're saying approximately 90% of them will be interacting fully within the virtual or the Second Life world. And only 10% maximum will be on Earth, so the Earth will regenerate. And we will really care for it. It will become something very, very precious.
When we're in our second life, we can turn our heartbeat down into a hibernation state, which is around 5 beats per second. And this is so that we conserve resources and so on that we'll have lack of in the future. And as you come out, your heart slowly starts to beat quicker and quicker until you come into your first life.
You know, we've had the industrial, we've had the machine age, and now we're sort of moving into more sort of the virtual, the online revolution. And the first life is sort of for our the special occasions where you can't meet your family or do something that means a bit to you and just experience life that you can't experience in the virtual world.
We still think that the Earth will be really important. We won't spend much time there, but the time we do spend there will be really, really precious.
Right now, Nike is an optional brand, but we want Nike to be essential to our life in the future. So that's how we began the project.
And so we wanted to make Nike more important to life, to us, to make it so it's an integral part of our life.
Our group's called Kardia because we were based around the heart. So everything's based around the circulatory system and the essential nature of the heart as being the centre of the body. We could see Nike as being the centre of a future that we'd really like to have. In order to stay relevant, they have to move into a new field. We don't think they can keep making sneakers and clothes. And I think their design could take a different tack into the virtual and to biotechnological as well. The growth is exponential and they're able to move exponentially into this new realm.
Products of a traditional nature and a traditional manufacture are no longer viable. We don't need products because we're only spending a very short amount of time in the first life. We can have as many products and possessions as we want in our second life, but they don't create the same sort of biological impact on the world.
We believe we branch them into a whole new area, which is emerging. It's going to be a huge area in the future with the sort of the biotechnology.
It's an unfathomable future, I think. The singularity, which is only apparently in 2027, is when computing power equals the human brain. You know, basically we can download our brains and leave the body behind, essentially, and exist probably for a very long time. You know, in a world, you know, we can play and work and things in the virtual world. It seems unappealing at the moment, but I think a lot of things seem unappealing, gosh, even 50 years ago, I guess, that we can now take for granted.
If you can understand what we're talking about and it doesn't seem ridiculous, then we're not looking far enough into the future.
So I'd like to think that it's a really positive future. I think if we can think positively about these things, then it can be really good. It's just hard, it's really hard to imagine.